Hey guys, while I was out here in the garden trimming the onions off, I thought I'd go grab my camera real quick and show you what I was doing with my onions and talk a little bit about why I'm doing it. Let me turn my camera around. So what I've done here is gone down the row on both sides of both beds and just clipped the top of the onions off. I don't know if you can see it on that bed too. Couple of reasons why we're doing this. First of all, let me give you a quick, see if I can do this one-handed. So here's one of my onions, and you can just see what happens is they kind of get like almost top heavy. And when these are starting to get so heavy that they're like falling over like this, they need to be clipped off, and we clip them about 4 inches from the stem, so about 4 to 6 inches up, so about right there. And you can tell by these where I've clipped the tops off of them. Let me cut it real quick. One thing I've learned about these green onions, or the onion tops, is however many that you have growing at the top of the onion, that's how many layers to the onion that you will have. I'm also, let me turn this around. So I'm saving all these tops, and these will go inside in the dehydrator in a little bit, and we'll just make onion powder out of those. But so onions basically like to grow on top of the ground. The bulb wants to be on top of the ground. So the next thing I'll be doing is going, and I think I've shown you this before, but I'll be going back around and pulling out the, oh, I got a piece of grass there. Pulling out the dirt from around these to expose the bulb and that bulb. So all you want is root growing. So that's another reason. All you want is root in the ground. You want the rest of it on top of the ground. That's another reason to cut these tops off, so they have a little more stability and are able to handle growing from the top up. And you know, I guess one of the biggest things I've learned in the past couple of years of doing the garden is pruning. Pruning is good for almost any plant. Pruning is good for tomatoes. Pruning is good for onions. Pruning is good for grapevines. Pruning anything back. Pruning bad leaves back off of squash or cucumber plants is healthy for them. So they don't waste energy putting it into these leaves that aren't useful leaves anyway. And it just helps them to be a healthier plant when you prune your plants. The thing is knowing where to prune them and how to prune them, because you don't prune peppers the same way you prune tomatoes. So that's something that you'll, if you feel like you need to prune something back, make sure you check out how you prune it, depending on which plant it is. Like when it comes to tomatoes, sorry. So like when it comes to tomatoes, well, this is the wrong way to move. You want to prune from the bottom here, and pruning determinate tomatoes is not the same as pruning indeterminate tomatoes. So you want to be a little more careful about the determinate tomatoes. Indeterminate tomatoes kind of go crazy anyway. But just pruning in general is good. We prune our oak trees every year for those low hanging branches, and it always seems that they come out, healthier in the spring, greener, and just generally better trees, better plants, better whatever you're growing when you prune them. Okay, so there's the onions that you just saw in the frames before where I was about to cut them. That's the after. So you can see this top board here is a 6-inch board, and well, the onion bulb probably sits down 4 inches, and then I don't know if you can tell how much that comes back up. So that's probably a good 6 inches right there that I've left on there. I was going to tell you too that these onions are probably about 10 to 12 weeks. That's a good time when you need to come back and start trimming the tops of the onions off, and then, you know, kind of reaming around the bottoms of the onions. Also, these are my husband's because they're like extra big on me. But some kind of, I've seen people take a butter knife and bend the tip of a butter knife and use it to clean out around the bottom of the onion. I don't do that. I'm just using my fingers to kind of go around it. And all you're wanting to do is just expose the bulb. You don't want to get so deep that the roots are become loose and it can't hold it up. Let me show you. So I kind of just go around this bulb. If you can see here where the bulb starts, and just kind of expose it. And then I take this extra dirt that's down here at the bottom and throw it up to the top. And oh, and see these are my husband's latex gloves. A little bit big for me, but I like, because I'm digging my fingers in the dirt. I've heard of people using butter knives to do this with, but I don't know, I just want to use my fingers. God gave me my fingers and I can use them. But anyway, the gloves help keep the dirt out of your fingernails. It seems like I have this, it seems like I'm always in this constant state of nasty fingernails during garden season. I can't, when I come out here, I can't keep my hands out of the dirt. And so I'm always looking at my fingers and it's like, oh, look at my fingernails are dirty again. So anyway, it's fun. It feels good to get your fingers in the dirt, doesn't it? Pruning is good for almost any plant. Pruning is good for tomatoes. Pruning is good for onions. Pruning is good for grapevines. Pruning anything back. Pruning bad leaves back off of squash or cucumber plants is healthy for them. So they don't waste energy putting it into these leaves that aren't useful leaves anyway. And it just helps them to be a healthier plant when you prune your plants. The thing is knowing where to prune them and how to prune them, because you don't prune peppers the same way you prune tomatoes. So that's something that you'll, if you feel like you need to prune something back, make sure you check out how you